Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening. This is Maximum Wrestling World Order. And today we are covering the latest pay-per-view of WWE, Payback. And like always, I'm not alone. I have my brother from another mother, the Blades fan himself, Dave Burnham.
Speaking of Blades, did you see that a Blades fan got into the Thunderdome last night on SmackDown?
That was pretty fucking cool.
I fucking marked out.
I thought it was pretty cool.
I was like, it flashed up first, and then I had to just hang on a minute, rewound it a little bit. I was like, go on, son. And I found him as well.
Thing is kind of it's rubbing off on me a bit.
Well, I think they had a couple of hiccups, didn't they, with like people just being dickheads. But the concept of it, do you know what I was impressed by? And I don't know whether it not entered my mind that that's how it was set up. Have you watched last night's SmackDown yet?
Not yet.
Well,
it still makes no difference. I'll probably skip through it in 10 minutes anyway.
The Fatal 4-Way to main event. Oh, by the way, Jey Uso is going on to fight Roman Reigns for the world title at Clash of Champions.
Really?
Yeah, he won the Fatal 4-Way.
Fuck.
In that Fatal 4-Way, Baron Corbin threw Jey Uso over the fans, and it's in tiers. It's all in staggered, so it is like fans sat behind each other.
So you please tell me quickly, because I mean we're here to review Payback, but I reckon we can review SmackDown in 10 minutes. Well, you can. How the fuck did Jey Uso get in on it?
It was supposed to be a Fatal 4-Way.
Right.
It was supposed to be... Oh fucking hell. I only watched it like 5 hours ago. It's supposed to be Riddle, Corbin, Big E and Sheamus. And Big E, he thought that Xavier Woods were back in the arena. And one of the security guards said, Xavier's here. So he gets all excited, goes out of a door, and boom! Big fucking Irish drunk gimmick Sheamus is there. And he batters Big E, who fucks off in an ambulance.
Okay.
And also... big news coming out of SmackDown. The golden role models are no more. Bayley kicked the living fucking daylights out of Sasha Banks. She did the spot. Like she did the spot with the chair on the neck and then jumped off the middle rope. Sasha went home in a fucking ambulance. Yeah. So because of Big E, he got battered by Sheamus. He got replaced by Jey Uso because apparently Roman had sorted it or Paul Heyman had sorted it and got Jey Uso into the main event. And Jey Uso, it was a great spot, to be fair. Fucking car boot Rob Van Dam. He did his finishing move off the top, and just as he kind of fell off, I think it was Corbin who did it on, out of nowhere, big Jey Uso comes down with a big splash, and 1, 2, 3, Jey Uso's going on to fight Roman.
I gotta be honest. I never used to appreciate the Usos. Obviously,
because they were stale
when they used to just dress like John Cena rip-offs, but once they invented the penitentiary, they just became awesome.
I think once they became like plastic gangsters, because like if you remember when they first debuted, when they had Tamina with them, when they like looked like proper generic jobber tag team that were identical. There were no muscle on either of them. They were just, oh, look at them two, they're Samoan.
I just think they look quite bad now. You know what I mean? From the gold teeth thing to the...
They're just badass. The wrap-off they had with the New Day, that was some brilliant TV.
It was, yeah.
Brilliant TV.
And you know me, I kind of normally pull faces at the old entertainment thing.
Yeah,
but
sometimes.
I gotta be honest.
Sometimes you've got to applaud, ain't you? Sometimes.
Oh, you've got to have, yes. Yeah, of course you have. Of course
100%.
And I quite like the idea of, you know, Jimmy
cousin versus cousin.
I quite like that because it's gonna be, it's not you Oos. It's not you Oos.
It's cousin versus cousin with the cousin that you actually don't want it to be, because ideally cousin versus cousin would be The Rock and Roman.
I mean, is this a wet dream thing, or are we gonna? I know at the minute we're talking like Brock Lesnar is out of contract, but Brock Lesnar has openly already said he ain't going nowhere because Vince pays him big money.
Oh, that's it. When the time's right and the money's right, so Brock will be back.
Is this gonna be Brock returns as a baby face? It's gotta be, isn't it? And it's Brock versus Heyman again, like it was with the Big Show.
Yeah, possibly.
I quite like the. I mean,
Yeah.
I gotta be honest.
But can Brock get
kinda-
over? Because Brock's got, like, people like me. I've always been a Brock mark, always. And when
Yeah.
Brock made his return way back in 2015 or whatever it was,
Fucking brilliant. With that guy losing his
oh,
shit.
it's fucking
That's
amazing.
one of the greatest. That you get them moments with WWE fans when they solidify.
Well, they made a
moment,
career out of it, didn't they?
whether it's 2 or 3 seconds of a pose from the Miz girl to Brock Lesnar guy to the black guy when fucking Undertaker lost the streak. That geezer when he does the Brock fucking,
Yeah.
is amazing.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, he made a career out of it, didn't he? Like a lot of them. He was known. Like, I think he changed his Twitter handle to the Brock Lesnar guy, and he's actually he's gone on to find fame at conventions and stuff like that. Being the guy that can go. Rah!
That's quite funny, you know what I mean? The guy's earning money from just doing
Rah!
a skinny version of Brock fucking and hulking up.
Anyway, shall we get onto it then? Payback
Let's
2020.
cover it, dude. Let's cover it. Because
another pay-per-view already.
When we first spoke about it, I was like, oh no. But I went back and I watched it again and I realised that I'm a miserable bastard and not a lot pleases me.
I think the thing is, because it's only a week ago that like WWE have held, we've had NXT TakeOver 30, SummerSlam 2020. It's hard to hype up a pay-per-view with only a week's build. Like you've got half of the matches are hangover matches from SummerSlam. Other matches they kind of got made up on that episode of Raw and SmackDown that we had between the two.
Yeah.
So it was hard to get hyped. So coming into it, for me personally, I was expecting it to be shy, and I was pleasantly surprised. I think it's not like Mania. You expect Mania to be amazing. SummerSlam, you expect SummerSlam to be amazing because it's a big, like Royal Rumble, it's a big pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. With Payback, that is literally a week after one of your big 4 pay-per-views, you expect it to be fucking terrible.
Dog shit.
But because you'd think that all the emphasis and all the build-up in storylines has gone into the matches at SummerSlam. But I was pleasantly surprised. Now, did you watch the pre-show?
No. you know me, dude. That's not. If it ain't good enough to make the main card, it ain't good enough to watch.
Iconics versus the Riot Squad. Liv and Ruby had new matching gear, so it's like the Riot Squad's back together, but we're not calling them the Riot Squad. It's fucking none of it makes any sense. The Riot Kick put the Iconics down in about 9 minutes. It was just a typical what you'd expect pre-show match. But then the fallout from that on the following Monday Night Raw, the Iconics lost a tag team match where the losing team must disband because Vince has got his eyes on Peyton Royce, it seems, as a single star.
I was super pissed off, I gotta be honest. I did see that on Raw and I'm furious.
Yeah, but now the Golden Role
You didn't
models
want the
are split.
Riot Squad together, so you split them all up. You sent Sarah Logan on her way packing. Ruby Riot original plans were she wasn't returning for the foreseeable, but that changed. So she come back, and Liv Morgan went from the girl that nobody knew but they were gonna know. So we were seeing Emelina V.20, and then they do a complete 360, and boom, we got the Riot Squad again, and they've split up.
The Iconics.
I fucking love the Iconics.
Like, they've split the Golden Role Models up on, obviously, SmackDown, and now the Raw before that, they've gone with the Iconics in a women's division that's already fucking saturated as it is.
Yeah.
You've now got even 2 less teams. So all we got now, we've got Alexa and Nikki Cross at a push. You've got, obviously, your tag champs, Nina and Shayna, which we'll get onto in a bit. Nia and Shayna, even. And then what? Then what do you do? Natalya and fucking Beth Phoenix every now and again, maybe? There's nobody. The women's division is terrible.
Absolutely fucking shocking, dude.
It is.
I mean,
where's all your Lacey Evanses have gone and stuff, people like that as well. Like the women's division for the single belts. There's no division.
I think everyone's decided that they want the foreseeable future off, haven't they?
Mm.
You know, I'm not
I think that's the thing.
returning. It's not I'm not returning because I'm scared of COVID. I'm not returning, Vince.
This has given me a reason.
You know what, Vince? It's not really working for me anymore.
Vince, it's not you, it's me.
It's me, yeah.
No, actually, Vince, it's not me, it's you.
It's you, yeah.
It's you.
You
So,
know.
the opening match of the card then, United States Championship, Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley. Another match of the Hurt Business against Apollo Crews. Whenever Crews kind of got going, it was MVP and Shelton that were on the outside. They got in the way. Oh, they're always on putting him on the back foot. And once Crews actually started getting a fence in, it became quite a better match. They were trading various moves. Lashley survived a frog splash, which I'm sorry when Montez Ford is still kicking about. Right, no, people need to stop doing frog splashes because no one can do it as good as he can at the minute.
3 going on.
Don't even come close.
Dominic Mysterio.
It hits a huge spine buster before applying the full Lashley to get the win and your new United States Championship in just under 10 minutes. What an awful name for a finisher, the full Lashley.
Dude, did you see the sheer strength of Apollo Crews when he bench pressed Bobby Lashley? I was like,
you've got a big couple of beasts in there. A big couple of beasts in there. If Apollo Crews was ever to be used as a dominant heel,
he's a strong dude, don't you?
he's a big ox. He's a big ox. And it proved that at the aftermath because as soon as the match was over, Apollo Crews, in a very weird turn of events for a face. It's usually something a heel would do. He got his heat back by attacked all the Hurt Business, so that means this storyline's far from over.
I hope so. I tell you what, right? MVP is fucking amazing. I love that guy. His swagger. He has the ability to make you listen, doesn't he?
Oh,
And
definitely.
He's always done that. Could somebody please though stop Shelton Benjamin smiling? I'm just. I don't know whether it's a nervous thing or it's just Shelton, but I watch like some of these backstage, segments, and it's just everyone else is looking adrenaline fueled and angry and intense. Shelton's just there grinning like Eddie Murphy.
he's still pissing himself the fact that he's got re-eyed after all these years.
That's it. Yeah, he's like,
loving life. He's fucking loving life.
I'm back to what I was doing before and they released me.
What did you make to the weird little celebration thing with the photographer and the little photos that were shown on screen? I thought it might be setting for the whole entire evening, but no, it was just that first match that we saw it. But it was very different. It just come out of nowhere. So up next then, Big Sweaty Man versus Big Sweaty Man, Sheamus versus Big E. This is just straight up. These two are just gonna fucking batter each other.
Okay, I love the fact that I love this. Cut backstage. Let's see Sheamus with his hat and his Bruce Willis diehard vest on.
It looks like a comical cartoon Irish drunk.
That's it. There was a geezer back in WWE back in the day and back in TNA. Remember the guy they used to make wear the vest with the fucking the backstreet London bare knuckle guy. I can't remember what his name was.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. I can't think for life of his name neither.
So I looked at it and I was like, is this kind of like your stereotypical me ma was a caravan? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because if it is, then that's a bit naughty. But I like Sheamus. I've always liked Sheamus. He's
Sheamus, the Irish traveller.
Yeah, he's a no business dude. He's entertainment value. But what I really like about this is the biggest heel turn coming in a long time. From the great wrestling match, back and two, but it had Big E winning all over it. We're going to see from this. I definitely sensed it in this. where Big E is celebrating and, you know, he's approaching Graves and he's like, I told you. And he's you know what I mean? If you don't get it, then you don't get me. And I'm like...
Do you think it's going to be Big E that does the turn? Because I still think it's going to be Xavier.
Do you?
Yeah, I think Big E's going to win a title. Maybe not the world title. Maybe a mid-card title. He's going to win a title. And all of a sudden, Xavier's going to be one that comes out to help him. And Xavier helps him win. It looks like, they're a bit heelish, him helping him and stuff. And then as they're celebrating, the crowd's going wild. Boom! Xavier just whacks him out of nowhere. That's what I think is going to happen.
For me, it can work either way with them two. Kofi, not so much. I think Kofi would just fade away.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say the rest of the line. I don't think Kofi has the... I'm going to say it point blank. You know, for me personally, I don't think Kofi has the ability to work on his own.
I think with the New Day, you've got a brand new element of Kofi even, being on the mic a bit more and kind of seeing his actual natural personality come through. But on his own, as a heel, that wouldn't work at all, I don't think. I think
I think it's too late.
But I can see Xavier Woods as a heel. I can see him as a very fucking... Awesome, yeah, a very like charismatic heel in the same way.
He is. I think people forget. Do you know what I mean? They're kind of, and I bet you there's a hell of a lot of fans out there that, you know, yeah, they probably know, but they didn't know to start with that he was a guy from TNA that got completely neglected as Consequences Creed. He was athletic. He was, you know, charismatic. And he proves that, but with up, down, down, that the guy is sensational to listen to.
But the thing with me, though, with Big E, like, he got the victory with the big ending, like you said. It was always going to happen. We are on this Big E push. But my problem is, I feel like it's being forced and it's not natural. Like, the Kofi push, that came out of nowhere because he replaced Mustafa Ali in the chamber and all that jazz. And that just naturally came. Where this is being forced, I think they're trying to replicate the hoo-ha behind the push of one member of the New Day.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, Kofi's injured, Xavier's injured. Big E's got to have a go on his own. It's like, this guy won the IC title. This guy was NXT champion. He's had singles runs. Maybe not a singles push, but he's had singles runs. But yeah, stop telling me that Big E's getting a push.
Yeah, I think that's exactly, you've hit the nail on the head, really. I think, like you said, there's two people injured. They don't really want to take the third one off TV to wait for the other two, because time is money and the New Day are like fucking big fucking merchandise fucking deal, aren't they? And you've got a chance to do something rather than continue to fucking push for nine times tag team champions. You know what I mean? No one really cares now. It's just another number. You broke the record. That's your talking point. You know, if you're going to continuously come out and go, and you're 26-time tag team champions.
That just means they've lost 26 times.
That's exactly what I say. You know what I mean? It's not really something you should be talking about.
I'd prefer to be a one-time champion for 5 years than win 27 belts over 5 years.
It's very much the same as Taker with his streak, wasn't it? You know? Never defeated. That's the way it should have stood, but it didn't. But you don't come out and say, yeah, well, you know what? My name's John Cena, and I'm a 16-time world champion. Well, congratulations.
How many belts have you got round your fucking arm right now? Saying it.
There you go. Looking a bit stupid right now, ain't you, John?
So, up next then,
you know,
King Corbin versus Matt Riddle. Car boot Van Dam. Rob Van Dam if you ordered him from Wish.
Car boot Van Dam. I like it.
I quite enjoyed how, like, in real life, basically with all the speaking out campaign and all that stuff, a lot of wrongs were written. And a lot of people that deserved to get fucked off were fucked off. One of them, some may agree, was Matt Riddle, who at the least openly admitted to cheating on his wife. And it looks like it's being used in the storyline because Baron Corbin says, I'm going to show that you're shit in the ring just as much as you're a shit husband. And it's like, does that really need to be used in storyline?
I don't like that shit, dude. That shit's been used far too much over the last few years. Personal life, Jeff Hardy scenario.
Yeah.
Didn't like it. Leave it alone.
Personal life is personal life.
It's personal shit, man.
100% agree.
Yeah, exactly.
As much as
Real-
I can't stand
real demons.
that fucking non-shoe wearing, I can't. I'm a big non-Riddle fan, by the way. I cannot stand this Rob Van Dam. He gets the victory. He hits the. It annoys me.
wanna take
He's
my
like a
flip-flops
shit
off,
Taz. Like everything's Taz.
You
This
know?
bro punch, bro clothesline, bro suplex, fucking bro off. So
Bro
he gets
off.
he gets the win. He hits the bro to sleep, and then he hits the floating bro. Gets the win in 11 minutes. For me, I didn't enjoy it. I'm a big fan of Corbin. Not much. I'm a big fan of Corbin the character, Corbin the ring worker. It's not the most entertaining. And yeah, Matt Riddle can just fuck off back to MMA. What did you?
Yeah,
what did you
know
make?
what? I have to agree with you. I did. Yeah, if you just said to me, fucking hell, this is starting to sound like a lot. This is starting to. This is like This is like a bit of deja vu.
Mind
Fucking
control.
Wayne's
Mind
World shit.
control.
Let's go back in time to a certain place. I'm starting to sound like someone else, and I don't want to. Do you know what? I loved Riddle when he first come on the scene. I thought, all right, this lad's quirky. He's got a bit of attitude, you know, but he could probably do something with it. He's come up to the main card and he's fucking stupid. It is absolutely. It's just ridiculous. I mean, just give him to Brock Lesnar.
I want to see Brock Lesnar
You know,
F5 him into 5th row.
I just I just want to see, you know, this lad's made no secret that he wants to fight Lesnar either, and I'm like, okay, make his dream come true, because it potentially your career will be finished. You know, fucking hell, you literally, the guy's been saying, you know, before he got to WWE, that he would take apart Brock Lesnar.
Well, he struggled to take apart Baron Corbin.
I firmly believe that Brock Lesnar could enter any ring against any professional pro athlete, you know, whether it was a boxer or anyone. And I really think if Brock got in the zone, Brock would rip limbs
Oh, he'd
off.
absolutely annihilate
I
him.
actually think Brock, dude, when Brock had his fucking first stint in UFC, right, diverculitis beat Brock, no fucker else beat Brock. When Brock came back to fucking UFC and fought Mark Hunt and then failed a drugs test, everyone was failing drugs tests. Do I believe Brock failed a drugs test? No, because I think the whole system is corrupt and rigged. Do I believe Brock would have ever returned to WWE? Not a chance, because I believe Brock Lesnar right now would be UFC champion.
Absolutely.
The guy's bad to the bone, man.
Oh, he's a fighter.
That
He's
guy,
an actual legit fighter.
Yeah, I literally believe if you put your head between his hands, every part of him would intentionally want to crush your skull. Honestly, he's so intense.
And if he got hold of Matt Riddle, he would destroy Matt
flashed
Riddle.
back to that fucking dig at the end of Braun Strowman when Braun went stiff on him and Brock just went, you know, that's what you don't do, son.
Yeah.
That was a tap.
If Riddle...
Braun's legs went to jelly.
I think if Riddle was to go up against Brock, there's only one outcome. You know what I mean? A, Brock would have it in his contract that he probably don't lose to anyone less than 6 foot.
I think that would inevitably be a buried
in all senses of the fucking word. Backstage then after the match, it looks like Corbin and Riddle is going to carry on because Corbin attacks Riddle after he's giving a little one of his interviews.
Why can't we? You know what? Why can't we be fair on Baron Corbin? Why can't we be fair? The Money in the Bank thing, take it off him because of fucking social media. The guy hasn't even had a pushing tag team or fucking mid-card freaking... I don't... Yeah, I get that. But shouldn't King of the Ring open other door?
Not anymore. If it was 20 years ago, of course, 100%.
I mean, he's making it work. I like him.
Oh, he's been one of the better kings.
I like it.
Yes, he has been one of the better kings.
You know? But to me, I just really think the guy needs a bit of love.
He needs a singles title run. Not just a quick win and loss, an actual run.
I just think if he went somewhere, could you imagine, right? If he went, do you know what? I'm not loved here, so I'm going to show myself some love and bring a King's Championship.
Bring back the old King of the Ring title that Mabel had on the house shows.
I think that would be amazing. I think that would be amazing. I'm slowly starting to. I dislike
like the $1 million
myself.
title element of I can't win the world title, so I'm just going to make my own.
Yeah, I'll make my own.
Speaking of somebody who should make her own, she'd probably be more successful with it. Sasha Banks teaming up with Bayley in the next match, defending their women's titles against the odd pairing of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. It was one of them where you expected them two to struggle. Nia and Shayna struggled to tag together, but as the match further went on, you could see the balance of power shifted where Nia and Shayna started to become quite a good unit. Where Bayley and Sasha, you can see where this is going. The finish, I thought, was absolutely fucking outstanding. To have one of them already locked up, and then to use Sasha Banks' arm to choke Bayley and lock them both up was fucking brilliant. And the submission machine, and this is right and wrong. This is the push that she should have had fucking 6 months ago. I know it's at tag team level, but a title's still a title. I know she's got to work with fucking Nia Jax now, so just be careful, Shayna.
That whole thing with Shayna Baszler, I love Shayna Baszler. I think she's ugly as sin.
Oh yeah, but that works for her.
But
that works for her.
Woman, I just think she looks.
Can you remember
like this monster?
Can you remember Kelly Kelly? Right, she was a stunner. Yeah, looked like a Barbie doll. Could you imagine them trying to push her off her as a submission killing machine?
I love how she carries herself. I love the white. I love the towel. I love when she walks out onto the ramp and she basically, kisses her fingers and puts her arms out. She carries herself well.
Oh, absolutely.
For the life of me though, I cannot stand and I can't understand what the fuck someone was thinking. Going, yeah, we'll bring her up from NXT, and then they did fuck all with it.
But there was so much promise as well, like a good run. Yeah, I don't understand why she didn't win the Rumble. Do you know what I mean? Or at least then win Elimination Chamber. But no, it was all about Charlotte Flair and Becky and it's people like that. They should have brought her up and she should have demolished everyone, run through everybody, and then build up to maybe her against Charlotte, her against Becky Lynch.
Well, the rumouring again, it's crept up again, isn't it? This Ronda Rousey shit.
Oh, fuck her.
I don't want her anyway. She was a shower of shit.
Don't get me wrong, right? Having
green as fuck.
Having the name Ronda Rousey, right, works perfect because she's a big ass star. And don't get me wrong, the match and her and Angle against Triple H and Stephanie when she was battering Triple H was brilliant. But that's what it should have been because it's an outsider in the first match. It should always be amazing. Yeah. But then 4 or 5 matches down the line when she was becoming this actual wrestler, I didn't buy into it. I couldn't. She's shit on the mic.
Was terrible.
Terrible on the mic.
She was terrible.
And she can fuck
off.
Her
ring work, dude, was just as
the
bad.
Only place.
The best she looked right was when she freaking hip tossed freaking Triple H.
Yeah.
That was the moment.
The only place that she should return is Raw Underground. It's the only place. But there's no way they do that.
I fucking hate that Raw Underground.
Oh, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. It's bullshit, innit? And I love bullshit.
I don't like it.
I
just don't understand, dude, where unless Vince is going, we're going to do this Raw Underground. But originally what I'm actually doing is I'm starting my own MMA organisation.
That's it. It's 2020's version
to be honest with you, dude, I really, for the life of me, don't know why he doesn't. Because I really think he would have success with it.
Because people would always...
You got Brock, mate. You got Lashley.
It don't matter. You could have them all. You could have Shamrock and Dan Severn still. But people will always bring up Brawl for All. And that's the problem. Oh, he tried it. He tried it again with Brawl for All. He tried it again with Brawl for All. Up next then, Keith Lee against Randy Orton. Keith Lee, he made a massive impression for me on both Survivor Series and the Rumble. Then he stepped up from NXT after winning both their titles and being the first dual champion. It looked like it was going to either go one or two ways for me with Keith Lee. It was either going to get put on the main roster and get shoot to the moon, or get put on the main roster and win 6 months, just be another mid-carder. But nope, it looks like they are firing him to the moon because he gets the victory over Randy Orton. Yeah. Randy fucking Orton.
A big deal, dude.
That is a big deal.
That's a big
with
deal.
His big fucking... I love his big sit-out powerbomb. And Randy Orton took it like a fucking champ that he is.
That, dude? There was no stall in that movement due to that powerbomb.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely, it's brilliant. It's limitless, effortless. But I'm still not fully committed with him when it comes to his promos. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just his voice, how he says things. I
really think he cuts a promo like he's a heel.
Yes. Yeah,
that's how I
absolutely
think. When I listen to him talk, I don't dislike it, but when I listen to him talk, I'm kind of like, yeah, but you shouldn't be talking like that. It's not for me to say how he should be talking, but I'd be like, you know, like me cutting my old fucking promos back in the day. You wouldn't believe for a second I was a babyface, would you? Never in a million years.
Like you were never a face.
Never a face. You know, but that's when I get with him. You know,
he's gonna be. The thing is, when it
cocky.
It's cocky, but it's also kind of like very whispery on how he speaks, and like very Randy. It's like it's
yeah. It sounds like Seven.
It does it better as heel, but what a rub. That is one of the biggest rubs on of all the guys that are currently on WWE's roster. Randy Orton's one of the biggest, if not the.
He's headlining, dude. He's headlining Mania. I'm calling it now.
And to get Keith Lee versus Seth Rollins for world title.
I'm telling you, he's headlining Mania. He's walking out Mania with the strap,
and then losing it day after because Vince.
I really do.
To a returning Brock Lesnar.
I do know. I'd like to see it.
Keith Lee against Brock. That would be.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, with Brock. I've always said, is this why they've never done Lashley versus Brock? Or when they had the opportunity to do it, they've not done it. Because Brock ain't going to start selling. It's in contract. I'll sell occasionally. I'll take 2 or 3 moves, but then I'm hitting 10 suplexes.
Vince is going, right, Brock, what I want you to do, I want you to stand there, you're going to take 2 punches in the face, a kick to the stomach, and then we're going to power slam you. No, Vince, that's too much.
Vince, I'll happily take that kick to the stomach, and then I'm doing 19 Germans.
Do you know who I am? I am not getting punched in the face.
Nobody is power slamming me.
The only time I will stand in the ring, Vince, and be made to look stupid is if it's at the hand of R-Truth. I'll do any comedy with R-Truth. But nobody is punching me in the face.
No. Or giving me a power slam.
Yeah, but I was thinking of Spirit Bomb.
Oh, yeah. So, Brock, what we want to do, right, is we wanted you to take a Spirit Bomb. And Brock's like, a Spirit Nope.
No.
No.
In the interest of all fairness, yeah, okay, Brock.
Yeah. No worries, Brock. Here's your $10 million.
That's it. For a kick, that's not bad, Vince, for a kick to the stomach. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. Brilliant.
Up next then, the Mysterios versus the Greater Good. Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy versus Dominic Guerrero and Rey Mysterio, his adopted father. Dominic's first match we spoke lengthily about at SummerSlam. It was absolutely next level for a guy making his debut. A lot of pressure, but he brushed it off. He looks an absolute natural. I love the element in this match of Rey just being, this is what he's wanted. This is what he's always wanted, to tag team with his son on pay-per-view. And he was constantly smiling, just all the time, smiling. What did you make to the match of the Guerreros versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy?
I loved it, dude. I did. Again, like you know, when I look at the match, and I'm just looking at it now, 16 minutes. Dominic went 20 plus minutes with Seth at SummerSlam. 20 plus minutes, right? Now, this is a tag team match. We don't see tag team matches do go 16 minutes.
No.
Right? And this was all about the beatdown of Ray. Ray basically still putting his body on the line for for pride. But it is also the passing of the torch to his son.
Oh, definitely.
And it's just, I looked at it from the start, dude. You know, when they're having that discussion, and Ray's basically telling him, right, when I put my shoulder down, you're gonna dash over the ring. I'm telling him the spot, right? You're gonna take out Murphy, then you're gonna take out Seth, and you're seeing Dominic smile, and I'm like, wow. That's kind of that. Do you know what I mean? That, like you just said, then that is father son.
Oh, you can pure emotion.
Yeah.
I love the added element that he's using his actual dad's finisher, the frog splash, to get the victory. Eddie's looking down on his son. Fucking proud of you, lad. Proud of you, my boy.
Pappy.
Proud of you, my boy.
There's no way. But do you think the people know yet that you're not raised? It's not possible, way. My missus, like, we were watching it earlier on, and the missus goes, because I was saying to her, yeah, well, I think his mum Angie, she's probably about 5'6", and when does she stand? And I said, no, dude, she's wearing heels. She's like, no, she's not. And then she walks out onto the ramp, and I went, look, the size of them things. She went, okay, all right, cocky. I'm just like, there's no way. How can he be, right?
How can a 6 foot lad come out of a couple that combined are about 8 foot?
Dude, he don't even look Mexican.
If anything, there is like a kind of a cast of potentials. He's got a bit of Samoan Joe in him. He looks a bit like Walter. He does Eddie Guerrero's finish. He does the 619. If there's a chance, it could be anybody's.
I said, Angie.
Was Mrs. Mysterio a bit of a ooh back in day? Speaking of ooh, Universal title, your main event. Bray Wyatt, your reigning defending Universal Champion, versus Braun Strowman, versus still not signed the contract Roman Reigns. So we've seen all night. We've had backstage skits with Paul Heyman of him. He's kind of just like toying with the fans, being a bit of a troll. Of course he's going to sign. He might not have signed yet, but he's promised he's going to sign. And the match starts with just Bray and Braun. They kick fuck out of each other. It turns into a wacky no DQ where Bray gets the fucking hammer out and stuff. That hammer's fucking ridiculous. And then all of a sudden, towards the end of the match, Braun goes up to the top rope. Bray follows him, and I could not believe we get the spot. Now, we've had it 3 times before, and all times it looked amazing because it involved 2 big fucking guys per match. You had Brock Lesnar and Big Show. You had Braun Strowman. You had Big Show. You had Big Show. You had Mark Henry. Then, to me, Bray Wyatt is not that super heavyweight. So, Bray Wyatt's suplex onto Braun Strowman makes the ring collapse. And when's the ring collapse? The ref goes fucking onto 10th row. Then all of a sudden, the big dog comes out, signs his contract, comes down. After a couple of kickouts from a couple of very near falls, he hits the spear onto Braun. And I told you it was going to happen. I just knew it was going to happen. The big dog is your new Universal Champion.
I love it. Do you remember, right, back in the day, when we had our first ride, right? Mm-hmm. And I used to use a phrase, and I always used to use it, to be an overface, you have to be an overheel.
Absolutely.
Right? And when I heard, right, regardless whether it's recorded noise of fans or not, where I heard the boos for Roman, and I was like, yes.
That's it. Yes. Every great face had to be a great heel first. Look at The Rock.
When that man, and it's inevitable because Vince is already tossing off over the possibility, and he's already planning it. When he eventually decides to have that moment when he runs in and saves or does that elusive turn, the fans are just going to go boo.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And erupt.
Definitely.
And I will say, yes, I did.
I
just love the Heyman thing, dude. I love the Heyman
on
thing.
Following SmackDown, like we're recording this on the Saturday, so the Saturday after Payback, so we've had Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown was last night. On the SmackDown, Paul Heyman delivered a promo in the ring with Roman Reigns, and it was a thing of beauty. It was the complete opposite of what he used to do, being the hype man for Brock Lesnar. This was dark. He spoke slowly. He looked into the camera. You need to check it out. Everyone needs to check it out. It was a great promo. And heel Roman Reigns, I am so down for in every which way.
Do you still think they should? I see a lot of people kicking off still about the music and about the way he looks and his attire and things like that. I actually looked at it and I thought, you know what, fucking keep the attire on him. I'm happy for it, man. I'm really, really happy for it. It's kind of like, I like it because it's Vince McMahon being defeated, right? And the reason I say that is Vince has always had this plan involving Roman Reigns to get him super over and be the next John Cena, and it failed at every stop, every bus stop. It failed. Paul Heyman gets basically put on top at Monday Night Raw and given production value. Then we read Paul Heyman relieved of his duties. What Paul Heyman had done is gone to Vince and gone, Vince, we should turn Roman heel. Get the fuck out of here. Or I'll phone Brock. And he's terminated Paul's deal with the production team, chief producer, and then he went, well, maybe he's got something, but I won't tell.
It needs to be my idea. Kevin, it's my idea.
It's my idea. Yes, I'm glad I thought of it. Brock, you're out of contract. I'm going with Roman.
Someone ring Paul. We've got an idea for him.
Okay, so that does mean you're going to pay me $20 million when I come back. Yeah, definitely.
And that's just for your entrance.
That's just for your entrance. Do you want pyros? That's going to be another. Vince, that's going to be another 10.
They have to pay Lesnar if Lesnar wants to have pyro.
that's it. Brock talks, dude.
Do you reckon he charges him per word when he does a promo? You want me to do a promo? That's 10 words.
That's
10 grand per word.
You can picture it, can't you, Brock? We want you to do a 10-word promo. 9, 8, 6. How's about we just get Paul to talk and you still pay me $10 million? Yeah, we can work for that.
Oh, it's like because they go, Brock, we want you to do five words in a promo, and then it's many hours later. Brock, as about just a grunt. Yep, 10 million. They're like, Brock, that was brilliant. That grunt was exceptional.
Absolutely fantastic. That was Payback. Now, I want to talk to you about something that dropped this morning. Okay. Because we're in the UK.
Okay.
Authors of pain, dude.
Injuries. I think that's the thing. Injuries. I think they were a team that, yet another one that smashed it in developmental, got brought up to the main roster, and they never really kind of understood what to do with them. Finally got something good. We're putting them in the original version of Seth Rollins as Gang. Having them come out in suits and stuff. I thought, right, this is the turning point. This now, and then another one gets injured. Always one of them was getting injured, and
well, they had that thing, didn't they? They had the fantastic run in NXT with Ellering. Ellering basically said he wasn't going to work a full-time schedule, so it was bye-bye Ellering. And then they were basically stuck because the two of them really couldn't speak a word of English.
Yeah.
And then they brought him in wearing the suits, telling everyone a story and all what was going to happen. And the pair of them were just crippled with either bicep injuries or hip injuries. And
I can see them going over to New Japan.
That'd be
but I think they'd have to fight the New Japan style. I think they'd have to both be fully fit.
Fuck
yeah, because
they couldn't act.
Yeah,
they would look amazing. Because of their strong style and the way they are. Because they're both MMA
Oh,
fighters.
yeah, definitely.
Both MMA fights.
I think AEW would be a good fit as well, but
probably for one of them.
I think it's too soon because I think at the minute AEW is slowly getting that tag, aren't they, from WWE fans saying, "Oh, you're just WWE 2.0," and
I think what I've seen with AEW, and I see a lot of fucking people in them groups talking shit, man, so much shit. But the thing I take away from AEW is I love the fact that then they can spend money tomorrow, dude, but they don't. They work with the small undercard talent that they've got. Dark is miles better than Dynamite. Now that's just fact. And the reason I say Dark is better than Dynamite is because I can watch Dark and it's like watching an old superstars back in the day where Joe Bloggs is fucking taking on someone, but you watch Dark and it's like, fucking hell, this is a shit hot match. And you're taking it's still a 2-hour show. And you're taking, on a standard match, 14 minutes for a jobber. And I'm like, fair dues. You know what I mean? They're taking time to build people in AEW. And obviously Jericho's carrying the torch at the top with John Moxley, who is Dean Ambrose, and he still does the same Dean Ambrose style promo, wearing you get what I'm saying. But
I think what AEW needs to do, and same with WWE with NXT needs to do, and they both need to realise that separate days will be a lot more beneficial, because there's a big chunk of fans out there that like to watch both, want to watch both, and will watch both, because we don't live in the 90s anymore where your only options were what were on TV live at that time, and you had to choose at 9 o'clock at night. Like, we were a bit more fortunate in UK because I always remember on a Friday, Nitro started at 9, Raw started at 10, but then Thunder started at 11. So you could kind of get the first hour of WCW, you block, because I was always WWE over WCW, so Raw would always come first. I'd watch Raw, and then I'd watch the last hour of Thunder, so you kind of get an idea and a gist of what's going on at the minute in WCW at the same time. But these days, it's all different ballgame. You can watch one live, you can watch one straight after on various streaming sites, so it's not the same as it once was. So put one on Tuesday, put one on Wednesday, and both reap the benefits of the ratings.
You treated wrestling back in the day like Coronation Street in EastEnders.
Yeah, exactly.
Corrie's on at 7. I can flip over and just catch EastEnders.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Absolutely. And I think that's what they need to do. I think AEW are using WWE a lot in their, not in their promos, but more in their social media and their marketing, where you'll always get one of them dicking on the, especially Jericho. Jericho, for me, oh my God, a company that made you. He's embraced that. He has this hatred for WWE now. It's unhealthy. I think doing his podcast and speaking to all these fucking wrestlers that got abused by WWE, like your John Moxley's, your CM Punks and people like that. I think it has turned his head, and he's so bitter towards Vince McMahon and WWE. And he's well,
I think the one thing Jericho's always prided himself on, dude, is making talent.
Oh no, definitely.
He's never been anything but. You know what I mean?
Look at his
putting someone over.
Look at his his third, probably his second and last run within WWE. He was putting Fandango over at WrestleMania. Yeah. It was always about. He's putting Kevin Owens over in their beautiful feud that they had a couple of years ago. He's always out there, like you said. Totally agree. He's always out there for putting other guys over, and that's how it should be when you're a returning veteran.
It's quite sad how the turn of events is kind of like at this point in his career where it's inevitable that he would be inducted into the WWE.
Oh, 100%. And he'd be a headliner. So he's been the headliner.
Now you're looking at it and you're going, does he really care? I don't think so. I don't. Because I think if you asked Chris Jericho truthfully what he thinks about the WWE Hall of Fame, I think he'd laugh.
As much as I agree, I still think deep down inside, 99% of it is promos to advertise his new company. I still think
he's always been like that.
The second AEW goes out of business or Tony Khan stops spending money, and it's because it's not going to last forever. I firmly don't believe that we're going to get a 50-year company like we have with WWE.
He's always had that type of ability to turn on. Turn on anyone. I mean, when he was in WWE, when he came in, he was talking shit about the likes of Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan and all these degenerates in WCW that wouldn't put the cruiserweights over and all that. And then when it eventually came true, then he was slagging off Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, and he's always been good at it. He's always been good at it. You know?
I do firmly believe though, the second that he's not as happy as he is now in AEW, he'll come back to WWE eventually. I truly believe that.
You just want that swan. I want that swan song.
I truly
to
believe.
not have that guy inducted would for me would be exactly the same as Owen Hart, and it would.
Oh, no, 100%,
it really would.
100%. He's definitely in that category of guys that you just think they've got to one day.
He's the workhorse. He's the, you know, he's one of the main reasons WWE succeeded.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You know, there's no ifs or buts about it.
Not in a million years.
It's fact.
Like, absolutely, couldn't agree more.
And that's what we talk on here, Dave.
That is it.
We talk facts.
That is it. So that is episode 2 wrapped up in the bag. Up next, Clash of Champions or Clash of the Champions 2020.
4 weeks.
4 weeks away. So we will leave it there, Dave. As always, let everyone know where they can find us on the social media platforms out there. They
can get us on Twitter at Order Maximum. Don't ask me why it's backwards, people, because that's just me. You can get us on Facebook. We've got 2 sites on Facebook. Maximum World Order Wrestling Podcast and Maximum World Order. 2 separate groups. And you can also get us on YouTube at Maximum Wrestling Order.
That is it. So, until next time, where it will be Clash of the Champions, it will be Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. Cousin versus cousin. Ooh, but it's not the real cousin that everyone really wants, but he will do. I've been Dave. That's been Dave. You've been amazing. Until Clash of Champions, goodbye, people.